Rise, rise, rise. I'm gonna give y'all some time to come on. I want to thank everybody. Thank everybody first off. I want to thank all of you guys. So I have a surprise live. I'm starting a series called Rising to Your Higher Self. And we're gonna start it right now. This is my gift to all of you guys. This is gonna be completely free, okay? Only thing I will have to have compensation for are one-on-ones, okay? One-on-one services, as it is one of me. But I'm gonna do these, I'm gonna give this to the world absolutely free. I wanna thank all of you guys for subscribing. I wanna thank all of you guys for allowing me to be a contributor to your awakening, to your awareness, to your better self. Many people, man, have been asking me for many years, Kevin, how do you do it spiritually? What do you study spiritually? How do you get by spiritually? How do you navigate spiritually? Because they see and they can feel that I'm on a spiritual path, and I've never truly shared, how I spiritually navigate with the world, and so that's what this is going to be about. How I rose to my higher self, to my future self, how I became I am. Okay. Grand Rising. Thank you, Marshawn. Peace to you. Rise to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much. Today I woke up to 100,000 subscribers. Only about 2 weeks ago, I was around 67,000 subscribers. And I just started back making content. I wasn't really on YouTube that much, and I started back making content, and man, just overwhelmingly, you guys have supported. You guys have, what's up, Philadelphia? Thank you. What's up, Wayne? Thank you. Overwhelmingly, you guys have subscribed, and you guys are reaching out to me on all of my platforms. I'm seeing you on YouTube. I found you on your other platforms, man. You got us talking. Keep at it. Unbelievable perspectives. You guys are keeping me encouraged and motivated. And I'm at 100,000 subscribers. That's powerful. So thank you all. And honestly, this is my gift to you. Okay. I'm listening right now to 432 hertz music. High vibes, family. Thank you so much, love, JJ. Changed my life. Wow, look at there. Powerful. That's always so powerful to me. But prepare to have your life changed again. Because I'm about to share with y'all some it's going to change your life, okay? If you can accept that you are, I am, okay? And we're going to have to do this in parts because a lot of this is going to be difficult for us to retain. We might have to forget it, come back and watch the video again. You might have to do that a lot of times. You might have to take some notes down. You can ask whatever questions you like, but I'm going to express some things to you, all right? Thank you guys. Thank you so much. See, I felt I had to click like and learn this. Dope. If you are here, stay. You're one of the chosen ones. If you are here, it's on purpose. You vibrated this video to you. I didn't show it for no reason. So if you're seeing this, stay on here. This is for you. Now, listen. The feeling that I know you feel. You know it's your future self. You can feel it. You might feel fear, but it's you. Don't run from it. Don't leave the video. Your future self is but moments away. Your higher self is now. You're about to be it. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted, right? You want to be your higher self? Well, this is you. This is it. Don't run from you. Don't deny it. When you see your future self, when you deny it, you can never become it. If you reject your future self, how can you become it? Let us all rise to the path of spirituality, who we are. Let's start with I am, absolutely. You guys have to realize this at the beginning of your path. I am. Okay? Everything's going to come back to that, and you're going to understand something. Someone asked me a question the other day. They said, Kevin, what did you study spiritually? I said, man, I've pretty much studied it all. And it all led back to me. I ended up being the God I was searching for the entire time. Ouroboros. Many people vibrated with that. Many people had something to say about that. I still have people that have something to say about that. Kevin, are you saying that you are God? I am saying that I am. I need you to understand it. I am. And by the end of this series, you're going to know that you are I am also. But until you see that, you're going to hate me for saying that. You're going to think I'm in my ego. You are going to think I'm full of myself. You're going to think I'm narcissistic. You're going to project whatever you need to project on me to keep yourself from seeing your future self. And when you get done doing all of that, I'll still be here, family. Thank you so much, Timmy. See, many of you already understand. So a lot of people will see these videos and say, cult-like following. The man said he was I am. The man said that he was God. And people agreed with him. That is a cult-like following. But see, you have to be chosen. You have to know that I am. You have to know that you are I am to even begin to know what I'm talking about. But I didn't come to be elusive. I actually came to give you clarity. All right? Give you 100% clarity. There you go. Good stuff, guys. Y'all talking. I'm just giving y'all a few moments to come on. Again, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for subscribing. I'm going to do this in a few parts. And so the beginning part, this part is called Becoming God. Okay? The rise to your higher self. The rise to your higher self. All right? I'm so excited. Because I know you're about to get something that you've been looking for. Someone hit me up, they said, man, I wanna get your spirituality courses, but I can't afford it. So you know what? That I'm gonna give away. So here it is, family. It's for every one of you guys to sit back and receive it. It's for every one of you guys to sit back and judge it. Whatever you want to do with it. Question it. Whatever you want to do with it. When you come out of your emotions and truly look with your higher self through your divine eyes, what I'm saying is going to be undeniable. Some of it you might not like hearing, but you're going to know it's true. This man said he God. He left religion. And now he's back saying that he is God. Is he saying God exists? If he is saying that he is God. I am. It is our understanding of God that is skewed. Our understanding of God that has came from man. It is not the so far off track that we don't recognize God, even though we cannot take our eyes off of it. I need you guys to hear me clearly. I'm going to talk slow. No one can tell us anything we don't already know about God. Because we've already believed everything we've been told about God. So if God showed up and told you that what you were told about it was wrong, you would argue with God itself, because you have believed what man has taught you about God, not what God has taught you about it, not what you have taught to you about God, not what you have revealed to you about God, the all I am. Because we believe in what they teach us about I am, we are forever chasing it. Ouroboros. The dog chasing its own tail. The snake chasing its own tail. Reincarnation. God creates man only for man to continue to create God. And in every religion, God creates man again. Ouroboros. It is a cycle. We are cycles. We are vibrations. We are everything that is everything. How do I know this? Y'all, I died. I've never told anybody this, but I died. I died. How did I die? I was doing a spiritual experience, right? And I was going to take these mushrooms. And I'd taken mushrooms before, but this time, my request before I took them was that I wanted to know it all. I wanted to know what everything was, okay? Man, this was about 2 years ago. I got so lost in that experience. I got so found in that experience, because it's yin and yang. I had to lose me to find me. I had to lose me to remember me, right? So I'm having this experience, right? And I go to this place where I feel like I'm dying. I'm literally on the floor thinking I'm about to lose my life, trying to be on a spiritual experience. I'm not going to see my children anymore. I didn't want to know that bad. But when I died, when what felt like dying happened, I just knew everything. I just knew literally everything. I didn't meet God. I was God. When I left the vessel of what was Kevin, I was God. I knew everything from beginning to end. I knew everything about everything. I knew why everything happened. And it was funny. I was laughing hysterically. That I felt so much fear when I was alive, that I felt so much curiosity when I was alive, that I asked so many questions when literally I was everything that I was experiencing. And it was funny. I was laughing hysterically. I didn't need anybody to explain it to me. And the funny thing was, who am I going to tell? Because I'm dead. Who am I going to tell? And when I reincarnate, I'm going to forget this again. I'm going to be in a baby. So who am I going to tell? And if I can retain it somehow, who's going to believe me? But it was absolutely hilarious that I was the Joker. I was the guy that I was chasing the entire time. Everything is everything. Everything, literally, when I left my body, everything began to just disintegrate around me. It just crumbled into little bitty pieces, like puzzle pieces, like bits of sand falling onto the ground. And then the ground began to do the same thing. Like dissolve, y'all, like dissolve. I was dissolving. I was trying to put myself back together. I was trying to Like I saw my body parts falling on the ground, but I'm still standing here. And I'm reaching down to grab my body parts and put them back on. And as I'm doing that, my body parts are crumbling through my fingertips, like literally like sand. And I'm reaching for the largest parts that look like me. So I reach for my face. But as I reach forward, it crushes smaller and smaller until it disintegrates. And I'm grasping for all of this stuff. And as I'm doing it, I'm asking myself, wait a second, if this is me on the ground, then who is the person that's trying to collect me? My view hasn't changed. I appear to still be standing the same height. Whose arms am I using if I don't have arms? What am I trying to collect me with? I had lost all sense that I don't even see the arms I'm using to collect me with. What hands is the sand running through with no hands? But I'm trying to collect myself. And it was at that moment that I lost myself and my identity and everything I thought I was, and realized here I still am. Here I still exist. Even without Kevin, I exist. I was still there. And I laughed. It was so crazy. I laughed. It felt like I felt every emotion or every energy at the same time. And this is why I was hysterically laughing. So whatever you call in pain and agony and fear and heartache and love, without an avatar to censor that and govern that, you feel every bit of that all the time. You're a constant vibration of just every bit of that energy. And the only expression of it is just hysterically laughing. For me, it was. Ha ha ha, just laughing. It was so funny. I couldn't contain myself. I was so happy. I was happy, literally happy. I was in heaven, blissed out of my, it's not a mind. I don't know where I was feeling the energy from. I didn't have a body, but I was the energy. I was the experience of the energy. With no avatar, I had access to my full power. That was God itself. And I realized that who I was as Kevin was another figment of me trying to understand itself. I knew at that moment that I am before everything was. But in order for me to experience me, there had to be other things. I knew this. So then I, God, had to create other things to be able to experience me. Because how can I know everything if I'm just God alone? How can I be all-knowing if I've never been through anything to experience anything? If I am just God and I've never had any experiences, how can I truly know what that is? How can I be God and give guidance and leadership to a people whose experiences I've never shared? I must be those people. I must live in those people, but I cannot know I'm God. So I have to alleviate myself of everything that I think I know. And I have to do that in order to know it. If I have no arms, I cannot feel what fire feels like. Take away English words, even though I have to use words to talk. I don't need English words to feel my arm burning if I light a match, right? I don't need to smell my arm burning to know I'm burning. The pain alone, family, the experience of it alone would cause me to move my arm. I wouldn't have to know it would leave a mark if I didn't. I wouldn't have to know the word hurt. I wouldn't have to know the word hot. I wouldn't have to know the word pain. I have now experienced it, so I know it more than anything. See, I can explain what it feels like to be burned, but unless you're actually burned, you do not know it. You cannot be all-knowing. So in order for I am to truly experience itself, other things outside of itself had to exist. They had to be. They had to be in order for there to be a God separate from anything. Are you understanding what I'm saying? If I need to know if something's heavy or not, if I am strong, I must measure myself up against something I'm lifting, right? So I have to experience myself against something outside of myself to know if I'm strong, to know if I'm weak. So in order for God to truly know what it's like to be weak, God would once have to be weak, literally be weak. Do you understand? I have to, in order for me to truly know all. In order for I am to truly be all-knowing. Well, you might say, well, Kevin, are you all-knowing? You claiming to be I am, even at this moment. I am all-knowing. Here's the thing. This idea of God is that it's perfect. It's all-knowing, meaning it has all knowledge, right? Knowledge, meaning explainable knowledge, data. Knowing, to be able to explain with data. Why would God need that? Why would God need to know the method to its own magic? If God is creation itself, why would God need to know how it's doing what it's doing? Why? Can you send oxygen to your heart? Can you send oxygen throughout your body? Can you heal your body? Do you know how to heal your body if you are cut? Yes, you do. Because you do it. You do it. This knowledge does not need to be in your brain. This is a physical body. God does not take knowledge to the physical realm. In order to be God, you need to alleviate yourself of that. This way you truly have your experience. If you know you're God here, you won't truly learn. You won't. You won't believe the illusions. You won't. If you're in a dream, family, and you knew you were dreaming, how could the dream have an effect on you? How could you truly experience the dream? When you are in a dream, the key is that you don't know you're dreaming. So you put yourself in these positions when you go to sleep as man, create a God world, a spiritual realm that only you access. Everything in that realm is you. You are the clouds in the sky, because those aren't really clouds, right? In your dream, you're the road under your feet, because that's not really the ground, right? You're asleep. The walls around you, I mean, you can knock on them. You can't go through them. They appear to be solid, but are they really walls? The people, they look like people, right? Sometimes you don't even know them, but in the dream you do. How? Are they really another person? Who gave them their lines? Who gave them their script? How are they so convincing? How are their acting skills so convincing that even you are there for it? Who are they? Aren't they made up of dream? Their skin, dream. The walls, dream. The floor, dream. The sky, it's all dream. It's all you. That whole world. Likewise, when you wake up, it's all you. God creates everyone, right? Don't you? Isn't everyone around you who you make them to be at every moment? Every person that you see, do you not create them? Your opinion of them? Your take on them? Your experience of them? Is that your experience of them or who they truly are? Think about this. The sound of my voice. Is that you or me? There has to be a vibration that goes down into your brain. That is you. So you hear the way you hear. You don't hear the way anybody else hears. If you take a hearing test, you will find that your hearing ability is different than other people. If you take a sight test, you'll find that your seeing ability is different from other people. The way you see color, the vibrancy in it, it's different from other people. So your experience of this life is different than anybody else's on the face of the planet. You are creating the world. The world that you live in is the only person that lives in that world. Everyone else has their own world. Everyone else is their own God with their own experience. So the journey to rising to being that God, to self-realizing that you are I am, is to never look outside of your own experience whenever you're on your journey. Don't get lost. Don't get outside of your journey. Never compare yourself to another God. They are only you in a different moment experiencing life, because God needs to be everywhere at all times to experience itself. Experience all things, to vibrate off itself. When you zoom in, family, everything is everything. We're all just atoms. We think we're different, so we judge each other, when we don't realize that is you in that experience. Have you ever watched a movie where the movie starts off and somebody just blows another person's brains out? Bah! And you're like, oh, that was so wrong, right? And then right after that scene, it goes, that was 10 years ago, right? Or it says 10 years before. And by the time you get lost in this movie, you are the person that's pulling the trigger. You completely understand why Samuel L. Jackson pulls that trigger in Out of Time. You completely understand. Because at any moment, if you were raised by the family you were raised by, do you understand? If you had the same things that happened to you, the same information fed into your brain, and the lack of information that you have in your current body now, you would be that person in that situation. And so when we see versions of ourselves respond in ways that we think are not good, we judge that version of ourselves. But it's you in that life. That's why it says, judge not, lest you be judged. See, we've all tapped into the source. So these words have been said. Do you understand? But God is not what you think God is. God is not a person who has to die for your sins. This is based on the cultures of this world coming up with that and applying it to God. Do you understand? Only you can die for your sins. No one can die for your sins. And die means to do away with your old self. Do you understand? Die means to do away with your old self and rise and become a new person. See, a lot of y'all say, dang, I want God to come back. Well, every time God reveals itself, you kill him. People don't like to be told about themselves. And the person that's speaking the truth is normally hated. And then they project all their evil onto him, making the person that's trying to raise them up the bad guy. So they dump all of their dirt onto him because they see him as clean. He becomes the burden of their sins. And doesn't it say, cast all your burdens on me? You see me giving life. What does it say the devil does, family? What does it say negative energy does? Come to steal, kill, and destroy. What do you see negative energy in here doing? That's why we say never get lost in the negative energy. Meditate back to your higher self. You're always God. You're always the devil. You're choosing who you're serving. You're choosing who you're literally going to serve. Who you're going to be. Do you understand? In your lower vibration, you are the bad guy. In your higher vibration, you are the good guy. Okay? God, add a O, good. Devil, take away the D, evil. These are motifs. These are ways for us to be able to understand it. It says, only God is God. Man have been given the name God and positions like King and Lords. God is 100% God, and God is 100% man. Don't you believe God can do anything and be anything? Why would you doubt that God is man? Aren't you your creation? What do you think you're becoming one with God for? Why do you think you can become one with God and still not be God? That's why it is to deny me, I will deny you. You are denying yourself. You're looking into a mirror saying you're not God. You can never be God until you accept you. Do you understand? I am not your problem. You are. It is your refusal to rise to your own higher self. It is your fear to rise to your own higher self because of shedding what you think you know, what you have learned in your body, what you've learned since you've been here. You forgot, fam. You forgot, but you feel it. That's why you're here. That's why you can't get off, regardless of if you disagree. You're right here because you know what I'm saying is true. You vibrate you to you on a constant basis. Everything you are, you bring to you. If you want to manifest the best in your life, become what you want. Fix your energy. Stop lying to the universe. Stop being fake. Be real. Praise people who you know you adore. Don't hate on them. So many of you guys see my videos and empowered by them, and you've never hit a like button or a share button. And you're wondering why you can't activate your future self. Because you're afraid of them. You can't not support your future self. What reason is there for you to hide it? To hide your gratitude? To hide your adoration? Why? You know you're empowered. You know you're empowered by it. You can't deny it. You can't deny the energy that you feel on the inside of you when you're in my presence, that you creating for you, because we are one. I'm not putting the energy on you. It's your energy, family. You just blaming it on me. All of you guys who are saying I'm amazing, what he's saying is powerful. That is you who is powerful. It is you who can receive that, and that's why you're saying that. It is your future self who you hear. The things that you don't understand, you don't even know you don't understand them yet. You'll vibrate to a place later where you even begin to grasp that. But you are I am. Don't think you can't forget it. You can forget, but even forgetting it don't separate you from it. Accessing its energy is in your denial of it. But when you understand that you are the I am, you can manifest whatever you want, because you will understand that you are the creator. You will no longer be asking someone else to open a door for you. You will know that when you want to do it, it will be done. When you really want to do it, you will do it. You will create the reality you want. And you won't keep sitting there expecting someone outside of you to do it. Who does God pray to when God is in need? Who rescues God? Do we not think God feels fear and lonely? Wouldn't God have to in order to understand and know what it is? Wouldn't God have to put himself into fearful positions to be able to truly understand fear? Wouldn't God have to be its own creations, its own people, to truly understand itself as God? How can you know you can sing except you sing and hear your voice? Except you sing and others hear you sing and tell you how you sound? How would you know your strength unless you measure it against something outside of you? What is there to know except if you have no experience? What is there to know? Someone says Christ is all there is. And you're right. Because all there is Christ. Whatever you're calling God, it is everything around you, guys. It's life, it's death. It's up, it's down, it's left, it's right. It's water, it's fire. It's you. It's every animal that you see. You cannot unsee God. Why don't God reveal himself? Itself. God cannot not reveal itself. God is in constant revelation. The fact that you experience anything is God. Do you understand? The fact that you actually experience is I am. Do you understand? Are you grasping this? I am experience. Now I can put data to my experience all I want to. See, I can see a leaf, right? And I can say that leaf is green. Well, that's data, right? That's data. I can say that leaf is oval shaped. Well, that's data, right? I could taste the leaf and I could say it's nasty, it's bitter, but that is data. That's not experience. I could rub the leaf with my finger and say its texture is smooth, its texture is rough, but that is data. These are words I'm using, that's data. If I don't know nothing and I'm touching this leaf and I'm tasting this leaf, what is that leaf? If I don't have words to explain it, it is I am. Here's why. Your experience of that leaf is you. To another person, they may not think it's bitter. They may not think it's nasty. To another person, it may not be so green. Do you understand? Things look different to everybody and taste different to everybody. So what you're tasting is your own experience. It's whatever your nerves, your sensory systems in this earthly vessel is sending you. And whatever you feel emotionally is based on what your spiritual system can connect to and receive. And that's all based on the level of vibration that you're on. The higher you get in vibration, the more empathic you become, the more you can sense the spiritual side of things, like sadness and emotion and inspiration. And this is why a lot of you feel the pain of the world and you're so sad all the time, because you're a high vibrational being and you can feel these emotions. Well, lower vibrational beings do not feel these emotions. They cannot access them. Do you understand? You wonder why they're able to move with no moral code. Why they're able to step over people and not help them. Because they're vibrating low. They're in the realm of survival. They're not evil, but they are in the red. They're in the realm of survival or desire. And they care more about themselves via desire, or they care more about themselves via survival. When you need to survive, do you not care more about yourself than anybody else? I mean, if your point is to survive, you would have to, correct? Yes, until your objective is no longer to survive. Well, when you are in desire, who are you trying to fulfill? You or someone else? Can't be anyone else but you, because you are the person who is experiencing desire. It is your desire that you're trying to quench. Why would you care what the other person feels? Why wouldn't you just lie to her to get what you want, or lie to him to get what you want? You're in your lowest chakra. You're not thinking in the future about how it would hurt that person when you lie to them, when you deceive them. But if you were higher vibrational, you would think about that. And you would say, getting what I want from them isn't worth the heartbreak that would come with it. Because I know I don't want anything serious. I know that this would be all I want. So my higher vibrational self wouldn't go around hurting people. Now, I'm not evil when I don't care either, but I'm perceived as such by the judgers. You understand? Whatever's happening, whatever your experience is, whoever you are being, that's I am. It's I am. What everyone else calls it, that's what they call it. Let's say someone does an act that you say is bad. At that moment that they committed that act, they were I am. They were being their realest they can be in that moment. They were lost in the moment. They weren't thinking about what was right or wrong. The data we've been taught, They were using their real emotions, the realest thing you could ever feel, and they were acting out of them. They were being I am in that moment. They lost all fakeness, and they were doing them. They were showing their true colors. Ain't that what we say? You was being your. If you ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it's in that chaos that you find yourself. You see who you really are when the pressure gets on you. You understand? It's when somebody got you down and won't let you up that you realize your true strength. But if nobody had you down like that, why would you ever feel the need to access it? Do you understand? We have the Most High in us, therefore I am. Absolutely. Do not deny yourself. You cannot deny. If you truly believe that the Creator created you, then you are the Creator as much as the Creator. Your creations are you, family. Do you understand? Your creations are you. You don't understand. Okay. Let me give you an example. Go back to your childlike states, everyone, if you don't mind. I want you to use your beautiful minds. Be the God that you are that can be anywhere throughout space and time. And I need you to travel back to your childhood for me. Notice you are I am. You are everywhere. You're going to do it. Even though you don't know how you're doing it, you're going to do it. So come with me, gods. Come with me, I ams, to your childhood. You got it in your mind, right? Remember doing the thing that you love to do, drawing, singing, dancing, when you were creating, the thing that brought you joy when you didn't need a TV, okay? Maybe you had your toys, but you were in your imagination completely lost in the moment. Nobody could tell you nothing. You were a kid. You had your airplanes. You had your drawings, and when you was drawing, you knew what superpowers your people had. You knew what their character was going to be like. You were literally living them out in your moment. If you was outside playing basketball, the stands were full. You was down by 15 points, and it was the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, and you had to bring them back, right? And it didn't matter who was around. You didn't see none of that. You were in your moment, in your creation, enjoying you, in your moment. Your magic, that's where you were at. Your creation. That was truly you, family. Now here's what happens. Here's what happens, family. We fall out of love with our creations because we begin to measure them against other God's creations. And that's where you get lost, because your experience in your avatar for this world is to focus on what you can do in your avatar in this world, not what you can do in that avatar. See, the reason that you subconsciously chase what other people can do is because you know you're capable, because you know you're them too, in another life, in another moment. But you have to remember that you are who you are right now in this moment. And you have to use the skill sets that came with this avatar. See, as God, you're going to live billions of times and be billions of different people, billions of personalities in different time frames and everything. And you're going to have to use the avatar that you're in the environment that you're in, and use that as understanding in whatever lifetime that you have. And that's what you use as understanding that adds to your God whenever you leave this planet. You take that information back to you when you're God. But anytime you come back to this plane, you have to let go of everything that you know so you can truly be new again and react from scratch again and be in a whole different situation again. Do you understand? But everything that you create in your avatars are you, not something that came from you. They are you. Take drawing, for instance. As you draw, is your drawing not a reflection of your skill set? Is your drawing not a reflection of the time you put in? Is your drawing not a reflection of your hand-eye coordination? Is your drawing not a reflection of your eyesight, of your mindset? Is your basketball ability not a reflection of your physical attributes? What can you do that's separate from who you are. So I invite you to consider everything that you create is you. Someone says to me, Kevin, you high on yourself. Kevin, you amaze yourself. My response is, well, shouldn't I? We love God for loving his own creation, but we shun man for loving his own creation. What type of people are we? We want God to love us for we are his creation. In fact, we want God to love us more than all of his creations. But he only has one creation. You can't have more than one. Everything that you are doing is your creation. Your moments don't stop. The moment you stop drawing that picture, that didn't stop that from being a creation. It is still creating. Every mind that ever sees that photo, a creation is in their mind. They see something totally different from what you drew and what you intended it to be. You haven't stopped. You're always forever creating. You never stop. You are a creation. Now, you don't have creations. So every time you draw, it shows an indication of your progress in all of your creation leading up to it. You get one life. Is it many lives because you woke up again? No, it's one life, right? And in that life, you reflect the progression of what you have learned in that life. Your life is a reflection of you. Your friends are a reflection of you. You are I am. The sound of your voice is you. You're not just the avatar that you see. You are the experience that you bring people. When you walk into a room, what people feel, that's you. What you feel right now when you're on my live, that is you. Do you understand? That's you. That's not my feelings. You feel your feelings. I don't feel your feelings. The power that you're tapping into is because you're in good company. Do you understand? When you are a chosen one, people around you are able to tap into their inspiration. You will know that you have vibrated to your higher self because people want to be around you. People can't take their mind off of your words. People can't take their mind off of you. They become obsessed with you because they're obsessed with their future self. They're obsessed with God. They're obsessed with their creator. And any trace or breadcrumb that leads them to that, they nose be wide open. And if they feel like you're getting away from them, they'll tear you down to keep you close to them. So for chosen ones, they always know a bunch of people who's tried to hurt them for no reason. But they know a whole bunch of people always want to be around them. They attract so many, they're so attractive. They attract so much energy. And people get around them and they say things like, I just need your energy. They know it. They just don't, it ain't here. The knowledge isn't here. The knowledge is here. But they're in love with your creation. And here's the kicker. They lost a little sense of their own creation because if they would love their own creation just as much, they would realize they are I am. Lacey laughs when I'm rapping. I laugh at my own raps. My mind will literally be blown. Or when I'm on a live, I'll say something that drops into my soul and my mind will be blown by something that just came to me. And I'm so genuine, I show it. Many people I'm so good at rapping that it offends people. But the part that makes people feel worse is I laugh, I salute my own bars. I big my own bars. And that makes them feel like I'm arrogant. But truthfully, I'm honestly amazed at me. I truthfully do amaze me. And all my life I heard it growing up and it was an insult to me. But then when I truly embraced that, I said, well, doesn't God amaze himself? When God created light, he said what? It is good. He praised this creation. And as God, as a motif, as a myth goes on, because it's all a riddle to show you something, he creates and creates and creates, and he continues to validate itself. It continues to validate itself by saying it's good. Do you understand? When you create something, who should love it more than you? It's your creation. You are the one who took the time to literally manifest it from nothingness. Who should love it more than you? Should you love someone else's creations more than your own? Would you love someone else's children more than your own? Your creations are you, therefore, they are special. They are special. Do you understand? You're forever manifesting you. You can't turn it off. I did it, love. Love JJ, I did it. Let's see what you do with it. I'm going to trust you. Moderate. You're welcome. Don't remove all naysayers. If they're disrespectful to a point to where they are disruptive and people can't focus, people are responding to them rather than hearing this message, you know what? Still don't remove them, because that's life. You are all on here responsible to stay focused on your future self and not to get lost in the sauce on anybody else, because that's what life is, full of distractions. People are going to always try to blind you from your purpose, and that's why you haven't manifested. You can heal yourself. Kevin, if you God, heal people. Why would a God go around performing magic? What would that do for the people? Except for make them needy whenever he leaves. Why wouldn't God teach you how to heal yourself? So here you go. Get control of your diet. Control what you put in your body. And you have to be faithful to it, because your health is in your hands. It is your avatar. I gave it to you, and you need to take care of it. If you be faithful over a few things, I'll make you ruler over many. And it's when you change your ways that I will heal your land. If you keep poisoning your body, I cannot heal you. You as a God is keeping you sick. You're not doing it because you're focused on that person you don't like at work. You are still sick because you're focused on how to be liked by somebody who doesn't like you. You're looking for somebody outside of you to validate you by any means necessary because you're insecure. You're constantly looking outside of yourself for approval of yourself, when the best way to get approval, the only way to get approval, which is fully acceptance of yourself, approved, is for you to go inside and fix yourself. And every person that's on this live has the ability to do that. So why would I heal you? I would be cheating you. Why would I give you everything that you want? It wouldn't make you who you're supposed to be. Those things you want, I only gave you those desires because those are incentives to manifest who you truly are. It's never about your dream. It's always about you. The thing that you want, you have to be a different person to manifest it. You can't be you. So I put these things in front of you, so you'll have to chase them. Because during the journey, you'll get stronger because you got to keep taking steps. But if I tell you to get stronger, you won't do it. So I have to put your dreams so far out in front of you so you can vibrate to them. The key to accessing your dream is becoming your future self. So when you stop neglecting the inner work, you'll have what you want. You think the thing that you want is somewhere outside of you for you to literally go and get it. But where would you go get $1 million? Where do you go get love? You have to vibrate it to you. You have to become worth $1 million You have to become love. Love is not something you find, it's something you be. And you know it, because when you're in love, when you experience love, that is you. That's you when you experience in love. It ain't nobody else's love you feeling but your own. So when you go on a journey to find it, that is a false journey. You're only wasting your time. The journey is inward. For everything, it begins inward. It manifests itself with outer effort, but it's always inward. The motivation to do what you are doing is always inside of you. Unless, of course, you are a robot acting without agency. No. Behind every push-up is a goal. Behind every bench press is somebody wanting to be bigger, somebody wanting to be stronger, somebody wanting to change. The truest motivation, family, is always in here. The reason, the why, the purpose, the one that you're forever always trying to find, the one that seems so elusive to you, but you cannot help but neglect, but be it. You are your purpose, and trying to find it is futile. It's like being on a journey to find your own head. By the time you find your head, you realize it was attached the whole time. But the knowledge you gained in doing so, you have to be grateful for. And you realize it wasn't about the destination, it was about the journey. So it ain't about the dream. It's about you. You are the journey. In order for you to see I am, I have to give you something that you feel is greater than you to achieve, so you can vibrate to it. And when you do that, I can give you another dream, another goal. How will you know? It'll drop in your soul. Holy Spirit, you call it. Other people call it thought. Higher self. Vibrate into a frequency. You've all accessed it. You've all accessed great ideas. You've all accessed what you're calling Holy Spirit. But we sit on it. We don't create because of fear. In our root chakra, in our lower energy, fear that we can't do it, so we sit on it. And someone who is without fear, they create that thing that we have tapped into to hear about. So we did have an opportunity, but we didn't act on it. And we self-sabotage by doing that. So someone else gets that vibration, they tap into that vibration, and they get that same business idea, and they start it. And before you know it, you're saying, that was my idea. It wasn't your idea. It could have been your manifestation, but that idea didn't come from you. You didn't create the idea and give it to yourself. You caught the idea. It was like fleeting through the sky. Whoa, I have an idea. What if I did this? Then you measured it against reality. You measured yourself against reality, and you talked yourself out of it. And the problem with that is you're looking at who you are now, and you're counting yourself out now for something that you want in the future. And the reason that that is silly is it's not going to be you anyway that gets that thing. So don't count yourself out. Just be willing to die. Like, if my goal is to bench press 500 pounds, 600 pounds, my life working threes. If my goal is to bench press 600 pounds, if my first day in the gym, I'm only able to bench press 135, should I give up and say, man, that's too hard? No way I'll ever be able to do that because I can't today. I mean, I didn't come close today. In fact, I laid up under it and couldn't even budge it off the bar. It felt as heavy as the earth. I wouldn't know which one weighed the most without a scale. I can't budge the earth and I can't budge this, right? So shouldn't I just give up? I mean, but no, right? Because you would say you have to keep going, Kevin. You have to keep lifting. No, it's crazy to think you can lift that today. If you quit now, like you're not going to have that dream, Kevin. And the only way to realize that dream is to be consistent to it every day, is to wake up, remind yourself of your dream, not remind yourself of all the stuff people did to you and be mad at them. Remind yourself of your dreams and manifest them. Wouldn't it be crazy if that's what God was consumed with, who he was mad at, who it was mad at, instead of creating beauty in life? Wouldn't that be wild? So instead of trying to be like God, be God. Never stop creating harmony because your mind is distracted on somebody else. Instead of waking up and reminding yourself of who you're mad at, reminding yourself of your failures, none of that actually matters, as today is a new rise. Well, it's not really. All you ever have is now. Every moment is literally now. Every moment is now. I'm going to say it again. That's it, guys. That's all you're ever experiencing is now. Do you understand? I always say that we're in this matrix where we have clocks and time and language and rules and all these types of things that makes us believe in this world, right? So we have time, you know, and our time is centered around the sun, and that's why it's in increments of threes. That's why religion is in increments of threes, because it copies the sun. Okay, Jesus, okay, escaped from King Herod just before turning 3. At 12 years old, he was speaking in temples. 12, that's 3. 1 + 2 is 3, right? He disappears and shows back up again at 30, missing 18 years of his life. 1 + 8 is 9. 33. His ministry lasts 3 years. He dies at 3 years old. Well, look at our clocks, okay? 12 o'clock, half a day, that's 3. A whole day is 24 hours, which is 6 multiples of 3, 33. Do you understand me? Take not time, but age, because that's a little different, right? Notice after 12, age changes. Think about this. What if numbers were correct and they read like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and so forth and so on. But they don't do that. It goes to 12 and changes at 12 to 10. No other number does that. Okay? And at 12 years old, that's a significant number to us, right? How old was Mary when she was pregnant by Jesus? 12. Wow. Why? Why are they doing this, family? How old is a boy when he becomes a man? As soon as he crosses the cuff of 12 into 13. When does a daughter have her celebrations? 12. Quinceañera, I believe. No, that might be sweet 16. Then you have after 12, 18. 1 + 8 is 9. This is when you're considered a grown-up, right? Yeah, 12 disciples. 18 when you're considered a legal. That's 9. And then 21, which is 3. Right? Again, that number is again. All multiples of 3s. So now listen, if these are just numbers, remove them, okay? There is no time. All you have is the now. So if you remove all of that, now remove geography. Now remove where you think you live. The city and the state, all of that is just papers in a courthouse. They are land masses in which we agree to names on. So if wherever you think you are, that place is decided upon and agreed upon. That's not where you are. Even the word earth is made up by man. Okay? So where are you if you're not in the state you're in, the city you're in, if it's just man-made stuff? Think about this. Imagine driving down the road in your car and you have a navigational system on and it's telling you where you are. Well, you feel comfortable because it's telling you where you are. But do you really know where you are? If the battery dies, how would you feel? Lost. You would feel like you were in the middle of nowhere. Well, isn't it true that you were in the middle of nowhere the whole time? You just felt secure in your middle of nowhere because you had data to make you feel secure? The time, the place, the state, right? The year, right? So aren't you in the middle of nowhere? Always. We don't know what year we're in. We say this is 2021, right? But is that really true? We say a year is 365 days, but where are you getting that information? Are you saying that because the seasons start back around, that's what time is? Or are we just making stuff up? What if time don't start over because winter came back? Think about this. That's data, family. Time doesn't exist as a calculation. Moments exist as a now. That's it. Now is the only moment you'll ever have. You will never have tomorrow, and you will never have the past. And this is why it's important not to remind yourself of what you think was yesterday. You are only supposed to remind yourself of your vision that you want to create, and don't worry about what anybody has done to you because it's in the past. It's already happened. It's done. You're not supposed to harbor on it. You're supposed to experience from it and learn you from it, regardless of what they did to hurt you. It helped you to experience you, no matter how. Do you understand? No matter how badly it sucks, you learned you from it. You might have learned that you knew how to hate from it, that you were hate from it. You turned into hate from what happened to you from it. But as long as you stay hate, you won't be able to manifest your dreams. Because from a negative place, you cannot manifest life. Do you understand? So you have to let that stuff go and rise back to your higher place. Jesus cannot spend his time being mad at who killed him. Soon as Jesus dies, he has to go prepare a place for the very people who destroyed him. He don't have time to harbor on it and be mad about it. You still got to prepare a place. And that place you're preparing is a heaven. Because when you heal yourself, you create a place in which where you can love everybody again, regardless of what they've done to you. Because isn't that what heaven is? Regardless of what you've done. In that place, you're going to be loved. And when you vibing high, yeah, people done things to you. But you realize what they did in that moment was because of who they were in that moment. And the damage they did was actually to themselves. They could have never hurt you. And so you love them anyway. Because you know that I am. And in that situation, I would have been a backstabber too. Because it's true. They were a backstabber. I don't know what led to it. And that's where my judgment comes from. But get rid of judgment, because judge not unless you be judged. Say, instead, I am. When I came to this planet, I knew people backstab. I knew they lie. In fact, I made it so I could experience it. No, I didn't ask for it in this lifetime, but I made a world where it could be so random. I knew the probability of it happening to me was high. So therefore, I am. And now I know what it feels like. And for that, gratitude. You helped me realize me when my heart was broken. You helped me realize who I am when my heart was broken. My heart is broken. You helped me realize who I am when I feel betrayed. You helped me realize who I am when you turn your back on me. Thank you. Had I not experienced that, I would have never known who I was, who I am in that situation. Do you understand? It's not for me to harbor on it and continue to redo it to myself, to keep doing to myself what they have done to me via being angry. Remember, I said you are God and the devil depending on where you vibrate. When you vibrate yourself back to a healthy place, notice that everyone around you becomes angels because you can see the good in everybody. Whenever you are in a low place, notice that everyone around you become devils because you are the devil that's operating hell. Everyone becomes little demons and you can see the negativity in everyone. Even when they smile it in your face, you know it's fake, right? Because people ain't nice like that, right? Even when someone is giving you love, oh, nah, that's gotta be fake, right? Because love eventually ends and you'll run from it. Constantly repeating your hell. The people who really love you, you'll make them out to be enemies because they try to offer you protection and criticism to help you be a better person. When you are in hell, you're consumed by it. Everyone around you is a demon and they do your devil's bidding. Do you understand? And this is why you got to get out of that place. Okay? And it's like an eternity, ain't it? But the problem with it is when you're there, you want to be there because you're the devil. He likes being bad, right? He gets joy in it. It's who he is, right? So we're taught. So when you're finally mad at a person, that anger becomes something that you embrace. You want to still be mad at them. That anger becomes now fuel, right? So it's so hard. It's so hard to come out of hell because when you're the devil, like hell is where you belong. It's where you feel right at home. You don't want people coming around you with them good vibes, them fake people as we call them, right? Coming around smiling. Hi, have a good day. We don't like that. Not when we're vibing low. Is this making sense to you? Rising to your higher self is knowing that you are the very God energy that you are vibrating to. And when you vibrate there, try and stay there. In that moment, you are God. You are one with the all, with I am. And you will truly see people with love. And you will truly see your visions and goals without being angry at anybody else. And you will manifest your own dreams and goals. And what comes out of you will be pure. And it won't be consumed with insecurities from trying to be in competition with somebody else. See what I'm saying? It'll be pure because it'll be your creation from a blissful place of heaven. You're not feeling rushed. You're not feeling like you're not anybody. That's crazy to waste the time doing those things when you could be creating. Do you understand? Manifesting your reality and rising to your higher self is a never-ending thing. Rise. Okay, and that implies that it's up. Well, I agree with our understanding of rise. Let me tell you what I mean by rise, okay? Rise, R-A-H, Ra, right? That sound like a lion, Ra, it means vibration. Like if you can imagine a pedal dropping in water and the ripples going out in every direction, vibrating out in every direction. That's what I mean by rise. When your voice speaks, it goes in every direction. The people behind you can hear you, to the left and the right can hear you. All right? Even though you see this way, you are still visible from behind. Do you understand? Anytime you make a noise, it goes out in all directions. Your decisions go out in all directions. There is not an up or a down. You're vibrating out, family. That's what's happening. That's what happened to me when I took those mushrooms, family. When I was laying there on that floor, I knew every bit of this, okay? And I knew I was dead. And I decided to live.
And I was like, let me go back to my body. And as God, I knew exactly how to do it. I'm serious, y'all. And I did it by vibrating back into my body. The next thing I knew, I was back in my body, and I was still I was 100% still limp, but I could moan, I could with my voice. And as I couldn't see, but as I could do that, like that, the sound was my sight. Like the sound of the moan was like creating the world. Like literally, like I could see the world coming back. Like I could see how far my sound reached. I was making small sounds at first. I didn't have a lot of energy at first. Imagine laying down, all of a sudden it's just like, it was like that. And I could hear, I could see as far as my sound would normally go. So I could see the floor. I was laying on the floor, and I could see the floor like gold begin to turn back into wood. It was like golden looking at first. Like, and I was like thinking in my mind, streets of gold. You know, but anyway, and when I was dying, the floor was lighting up gold. I was looking down at the floor like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? That's why I laid down. Like, I don't like to be embarrassed. And so I went and found a safe place because I didn't want to be like running around thinking I was on fire in front of people because there was many people there. So I found a bathroom and just shut myself in it. And the floor was glowing. I laid down, but anyway, the floor comes back into gold, but then it turns into the floor and it goes black again when my rumble stops. So I started like doing this, making knocks on the floor, right? And when I would do this, the sound would travel out on the floor, y'all, like literally travel out. And I could start making, when I do that, I guess the sound went as far down as my chest, and I could see my chest and stuff again. And when I could see my chest again, I could feel my lungs again. And I was like, it's like I gasped for air. That's when I finally said, I could breathe again. When I could finally see, when the vibration hit my chest, I could see it again. And that's when I started gasping for air. And that's when I could make a louder noise. And then as I began to breathe hard and make noises, the floor just filled out, the floor filled out, the walls began to come back into existence. And I was me again. Crazy, crazy. It was crazy, crazy. And I knew, the thing was, if you've ever done these type of experiences, you don't take a lot of it back with you. But I feel like I brought so much back, even though I know I'm only bringing like 1% of what I experienced. But from time to time, I tap back into it again. When sometimes I'm talking, I'm speaking, I'm doing a lecture, or even like now on the live, things will come to me that I know I didn't read or see anywhere. You know what I mean? And it'll really literally drop into my soul, and it's flowing out of me. And I'll go back and look at the videos and be like, yo, I didn't even remember saying that. You see what I'm saying? So I know that I'm being a vessel for what is the living God, the living frequency that is God, because God is not a being. God is a frequency. It is a frequency that we all must vibrate to become one with. And in that power, there is nothing we can't do. In that power, there's nothing we can't manifest. And you might say, well, Kevin, you can be harmed. Can you stop a bullet? No God can come here in a human body and stop a bullet. The purpose of this reality, family, is to not infect it with God power. Do you understand? To come in here and start changing things with God power would be pointless to the experience of God itself. This world is not to be done that way. It is to be navigated using only avatars. Anytime we as gods come to this planet, we can only speak through the avatars that we are using. We can only help the world onto these avatars, expecting the God outside of you, your higher self, while you're in this experiencing this world, to also come and intervene. That would make God outside of you. That would make God different from you. God would have to not be you at all and be totally another person outside of you if you want God to do something for you, for the world even. Whatever you want God to be doing for the world, you're supposed to be doing your part in that. And that is God. That's God's effect on this world and this avatar. This is what you got to work with. So you use all of your abilities in this avatar to manifest what you're praying to God for. But praying to God outside of yourself for this invisible being to hand you something because you think that some being somewhere is listening to you. When you're doing that, you've lost purpose. Because God is not to be consulted outside of yourself. There is no God out here in this realm that you're looking in with your eyes. That's the biggest trick. You are not out here. This avatar is an illusion. You believe I'm out here because your eyes see out here. You believe you're out here because your eyes are pointed out and it brings light into your eyes, and therefore you think you're out here. But do you really believe that? Think about this, family. How do you experience the world? Once it comes into contact with you, in you, once it gets inside of you, this is when you experience the world. So if you had eyes on the back of if you had eyes on the inside of your head, maybe then you would believe in yourself. Do you understand? If you had eyes in the back, like in the back of your eyes to see inside of you, maybe then you would believe in yourself. Because you could truly see your truest potential. And you would truly see that you are I am. But the biggest trick with this reality is, in order for you to witness your God ability, you have to create it first so you can see it outside of you. It's in you, but in order for you to see it, you have to put it outside of you so you can see it by perspective and experience it in this world. So you know you have a special gift. You know there are great things within you. Well, they're within you. You can't see them in this world. No one else can see them. So you're not actually needing people to believe in you. You're needing you to believe in you. You need to believe in whatever it is you see and hear enough to be willing to create it brick by brick outside of you, knowing that it's not going to be built today. You got to be willing to go to the gym today and start with that 135, even though you know you're not going to be able to get the 600-pound goal that you want. Or else you're never going to experience the version of yourself that can lift 600 pounds. Do you understand? Family, it's about going inside of you. Many of you guys are on here in judgment. Some of you are on here in awe. And a lot of you, because of that, you're not going to listen to what I'm saying, and you're not going to grasp this. But just like I told you, God is in constant revelation, as God itself is experience. The sheer fact that you have experience right now, you should call gratitude. This is why God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. Because in order to be able to say God is good, you must be able to exist. You have to be able to. And existence is good. It is. The sheer fact that you know that you're sad. The sheer fact that you exist to know that there's a reality. The sheer fact that you exist to know that there's something to this life is God. That is God, family. God is not a person. God is experience. So you're experiencing God right now. You can't not see God. It's everywhere you look. It's everything that you feel. It's everything that you taste, touch. It's everything. You can't get away from it. In order to truly see it, you got to vibrate to your higher self, which is God, and accept yourself for who you truly are. The reason you see all these people who claim to be I am get looked down upon and called narcissistic is because the people who are looking at them, perceiving them, refuse to accept that they are I am also, and they think that person only thinks that they are I am. No, they realize that just as much as I am God, I'm Siobhan Hines, I'm Noble, I'm Tina. Let's see. I am that I am. Ask me a question that you would ask God if you could talk to him, or it. If you could have a one-on-one with God, ask me a question that you would ask God. Just pretend you believe in this God outside of you. If you were to have a one-on-one with who you believe is God, what can you ask? What make you you? Everything that I am not makes me everything that I am, family. This is why it's so simple. I am that I am. I cannot be anything else but I am. And everything that I'm not makes me who I am. What's the best experience as a human? Being completely free from judgment, from you judging yourself. It's not so much of everybody else, it's what you receive upon yourself. Life is your experience, family. It is all in your head. If you remove what you think other people think of you, and you do the things you enjoy that bring you life, you will manifest your greatest reality. And that is the greatest human experience, is to experience. We spend our life experiencing everybody else. We know who Michael Jackson is. We know who all of our idols are. But we don't know who we are because we don't create. The highest human experience is for the human to experience himself or herself. When you feel love, it is only you who feel it, family. But then you become so concerned as if the person that you love you back. So you knock yourself out of love. When what's important is that you feel love. You have tapped into your God, which is love. And love, by goodness sake, don't be concerned if you're being loved back. That is the Romanistic Western view of God, being concerned about who loves it back. A true God vibrates so high, it is only concerned about the love it has for its creations, family. You are not concerned about if they love you back. You are not concerned about if people believe in you. You are not concerned if people think you can do it. You know that what matters is that you do it. That's all that truly matters. The greatest human experience is to experience you. Don't have a journey to riches. Have a journey to your higher self. Make being your best self your new religion. If you do that, you will have the highest experience. Why do I feel like I'm stuck between the old me and the guy I want to become? You always are. You can always vibrate that person to you. What you have to do is stop feeding that person. Leave it totally. The gorilla, it picks up and moves every single day. Never does it sleep in the same place. A lot of problems with humans is they have pockets. They have refrigerators and they have houses. And they tend to store up in those houses and refrigerators and a lot of that. While it's comforting, it makes them lazy. And we do the same thing with habits and emotions. Wherever we go, we take them with us. Like a handkerchief on the back of a stick. Like roaches in a nightstand. Why leave a possessed haunted house if you're going to take the ghost with you? Die. Let go of yourself. Nobody wants to die. The reason you are stuck is because you don't want to lose the people around the person that you have been manifesting, the old you. And when you change, you know you're going to lose those people. You know people are going to see you different because you know you can't hang out with them no more. You know, the people that you dealt with, some of them you're going to have to not hang around them. And you know you're going to have to focus on your purpose. And you know they're not going to like it. And you like those people. And you always think about the time that your old self put in with them. And somehow you thought that they were supposed to be in your journey for longer than they are. And life is not about you holding on to people. And a lot of times we refuse to level up because we're trying to keep our grip on our surroundings. If you ever see some people do a mushroom, what's the name? Yeah, you're crying because you feel you know it's true, you know it. When some people take mushrooms, some people can't tap in. They're so afraid of going to that place that their mind is trying to go and losing touch with reality that all they do is judge everybody. Look at him, he over there laughing like crazy. Ha ha ha. Somebody over here crying because the shroom experience done took their energy to a crying place. They're doing some healing, right? Some purging. And they'll go, ha ha ha, they're crying. Like they'll literally find everything it's like you're falling and you grabbing onto everything to try to stay up. You understand? And that's sometimes what we do when we try to vibrate to our higher self. We don't really want to let go because we don't want to lose those people, man. But in order for you to be your future self, there has to be a sacrifice. And the sacrifice has to be of your old self. See, a lot of times when you see the person that you want to be, when you see your future self represented in a person outside of you, you say, I want what they have. But have you ever truly thought about what their life had to look like to get that? And sometimes it's not about what they have, it's who they are that they manifest that to them. So when you told the universe that that's what you wanted, you didn't realize the sacrifice that it would take to be able to become that. You understand? And you have to go. You can't go. You have to want the gift so badly that the person in your future is the one that gets it. It's like you have to plant a tree that you won't get to eat fruit from, but your children will. Do you understand? And you have to die doing it. Think about that. A lot of cultures, they build what they call bonsai trees, and it takes them years and years and years to cultivate and sharpen this bonsai tree and control it down into the small design. I'm talking about years and years and years to work that one before it would ever sell. I'm talking about it'll take 10, 15 to 20 years before they can ever sell it, because they have to keep molding it. So they're making something that likely they won't even get to eat the benefits off of. When this finally sells, they'll likely be dead and gone. And their future selves, their children, will reap the benefits of it. That's how badly that you want to be your future self. Knowing that you might not be the one that gets it, but your future self might. And I don't just mean in your children. I mean the you that you become in your future self. This is why religions always paint this idea of sacrifice. You understand? The wages of life is death, not sin. Everything that lives kills. This is why none of us can be judges. Every one of us is a killer. Every one of us has killed. Whether it be a bug, an animal that we're consuming, we're taking part in death, family. And in order for you to simply live, one must take part in that thing called death. Does this make sense? Everything plays its part. The lion will one day be eaten by the gazelle in the form of grass. See? When the grass consumes the lion, the gazelle will feast on the lion yet again. It's Ouroboros. Everything is constantly repeating itself, family. It's I am. When the gazelle eats the lion, the gazelle becomes the lion. The gazelle's flesh becomes nutrients and iron. The gazelle becomes iron and zinc and potassium and protein. It becomes these things, these human words that we call, but it becomes the very lion that it's consumed it. And when the lion dies, it knows how to break itself back down into plant food and turn back into grass when grass consumes it. Do you understand? Everything is everything. It's like when you watch a video game, it's all pixels, right? You see cars, you see people, you see things happening, but it's all game, really. They're all made up of the same pixels. You see them as different, so you're there for it and you're involved in it, right? But they're all the same, really. If I draw on a piece of paper and I draw a bunch of images on a piece of paper, are they not all graphite? Are they not all ink? Are they not all paint? Yeah, they look different, but they're all made up of the same thing. Aren't you and I made up of the same thing? If you and I were buried in the same casket, and you come back to that casket thousands of years later, and you look at it, who is who? We're all dust. And this is what happened to me when I had my experience. I turned into dust, and so did the earth, and so did the moon, and so did the stars. And I learned that when I die, everything dies with me because I'm God. And when you die, everything dies with you because you are God. The versions of you that are left here, they live on. But when you as a God die, all of your creations die with you. every person that is on earth that you have created or that ever has existed, any person you have an opinion about is your creation. Any person that exists, when you see them, you got your own opinion about them. They are your creation. That all dies with you. And you realize you're back at one, being the all again, having all those emotions, and you can't decide which one is which because you're vibing so high, that's so much of a frequency that all it is laughter and love and bliss and light. It's just, you're the sun, you're Ra, you're just, everything is just, it's just, the emotion is so unreal. It's so, you can't even describe it unless you have an avatar to live in. Someone says, where do you go after you die? Back to where you were to begin with, where you've always been, everywhere at the same time. See, your avatar will go back to the plants or whatever consumes you, becoming life again in this realm. And your spirit, your mind, the thing that you think with, that will be. What I felt is I just was all energy at the same time. And at that moment, I knew that I could be anything. I could be the wind if I wanted to. I could be whatever. But I decided to come back and be I am in this frame. And I said that what I'm going to do is I'm going to enlighten the world. I'm going to share what I've learned. I'm going to share who I am. I'm going to share what I have remembered, not learned. Because we're not here to learn. We already know everything. We're here to experience and create, family. What is spirit? Spirit is life, it's breath, it's experience. We call it. Okay? It's the energy inside of you. It's the thing that, it's your motivation, the thing that drives you. That's right. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. God didn't create itself and nothing created God. It simply was I am. And being simply I am, without the experiences to come along with it, would not make you truly divine. Having all knowledge and experiences, you would have to create a people, be those people, experience life through those people. Know what it's like to be the people that serve you. Yes, we are I am. Someone says, like, why does murder happen? Rape, even. Brace yourself. So God could experience what rape and murder is. In order for God to know everything, wouldn't it have to know what rape felt like or murder felt like? Unless, of course, it's just flying by the seat of its pants and it doesn't know everything. If God is everyone, in the experience of every avatar, experiencing itself in life, it has experienced rape before. It has been murdered before. And this is why God has no fear, because it knows that's just an avatar. I'm God. All these are I am as well. All the people in the world are I am. I am every bad decision ever made. I am every good decision ever made. If you hate your parents because they weren't who they were supposed to be in your life, forgive them. Say I am, so you can rise to your future self. Aren't you I am? Think about it. You are their DNA, manifested again. And without them, you wouldn't have this beautiful experience. And whether or not you approve of their character or not, you are I am. And without them being who they are, you wouldn't be. I don't care if you got here through adultery. I don't care if you got here through fornication. I don't care if your mother tried to abort you 3 times and couldn't, and you still mad at them. You're here. You have the avatar, you have the DNA from those predecessors, from your ancestors. And so for that, be grateful, saying that I am. I can't deny being I am. If you take my DNA, it's going to trace back to all different types of people. It's going to trace back to slavery, where many egregious things happen. And I might find out that I have a slave master in my ancestry. And that slave master may have raped my ancestor. So I may have come from a rapist. But does that mean I don't want to exist anymore? No, I still want to exist. So that means I wouldn't undo what happened. Because I wouldn't get to be me. And I know as crazy as it sounds, but I have to just say, I am. I am that. I am that. It created me. In this avatar, that's how I came to be in this experience. It's through that line of mistakes or good decisions. And if I undo them, I won't be. New channel says, where are you? I am right where you are. There's no other place that I can be. Many of y'all be like, man, I can't listen to your videos like that because I hear your voice in my head even when you ain't on. I dream about you. And it's because that is my way of revealing to you that I'm your future self. You won't be able to take your mind off of me. But it's not me. It's the energy that I vibrate. Happens everywhere I go. People stop, turn around. They know I'm there without even looking at me. Same avatar. Different spirit. I vibrated something else. When I tell them the creator is female, they say, you are too much. I am. The creator is I am. It's male, female. It is all that. It cannot be one or the other without being both. You understand? Thank you, the great. I like that. I forgive and love all of my different avatars that I've played. That is truly acceptance of yourself and truly saying, no longer will I be judgmental, but I will know that every person that I'm witnessing is me in that situation in time. That's where I would be. And life is not about me judging them or earning their validation. It is about me creating and experiencing the most of this avatar that I possibly can and maximizing it the most that I possibly can by creating from it. I will only know how good I can draw if I draw my best. And I can only draw my best if I continue to draw over and over and over. Because if I put my all into drawing today, that actually isn't my best. That's the best that I am today. But I can cultivate my best and I can nurture my best. And my best can get better, right? And I'm the one who gets to witness that. And when I see my creations become better, I am the one that's going to dance and sing around my creations. And I won't need nobody else to, because I, God, know that what I create is good. And I know that. And I don't need anybody else to tell me that. I am the witnesser of my creation. I am who is experiencing my creation. It is not for anyone else to judge. Why am I trying to seek validation through my creation? My validation is supposed to give me entertainment. It is supposed to give me joy. My art is supposed to dance in my mind. My music is supposed to jingle in my head. My dream is supposed to ring in my heart, not in anybody else's. So why don't I manifest my dream and take my mind off of others and be God? Create in this reality whatever it is that you want with no fear, knowing that you are God, possessing the same abilities because you are one with the very person who made you. The most powerful being in the entire universe intentionally created you. And it needs you for validation. Do you understand that? God needs you to be able to understand itself. God is on a mission to dig into your personal lives, to learn itself. You guys are too busy chasing God to learn yourself. It is God who is learning from you. Who told you God can't learn? Didn't I ask Adam, where art thou? Think about that. Who said that everything that God has ever done, he has already done? Who said that God is always prepared? No, God is not always prepared. Didn't Jesus say, I go to prepare a place for you? Didn't Jesus say, I go to prepare a place for you? That means it wasn't prepared. But in other words, I can't teach it to you here because you would just kill me. So coming down to earth and telling y'all that I am God will make y'all think it's Kevin. And then you're going to crucify Kevin, thinking you killing me. But I cannot be murdered. The avatar is here to do whatever you want to with it. And the reason that Kevin moves the way he moves is because he fully accepted me without fear. Even if he dies, he accepts it because he knows I am. In whatever way he may die, he knows it's so he can experience it. And so he can know it as God. So he requested that I, God, take over his avatar and live out through him. And when you become that comfortable to claim your godly being, that's when you'll start manifesting your reality. It is not about arrogance. It is about acceptance. If you are truly humble, you will know that's a very hard thing to admit because of what you think of God. The very thing you've been taught about God makes it so hard to profess that you are it. But you don't know your greatness. The moment you actually realize that thing that you're chasing is what made you, the moment you realize that if it made you, you are it. You are the reflection of it. You are its understanding of itself via creation. That means you can do what it does. Stop asking it to do for you things. When you are it, be it. Do you understand? Your spirit body is God. This avatar is man. The ego that comes with the avatar is what is separating you from your God power. You need to understand that the power of God does not work like moving mountains. Do you understand? It works like moving minds. Changing the world is about changing your mind. Changing your reality is about changing how you see the world. Vibing to a higher vibration gives you that new perspective. This is why when you heal, H-E-A-L, but it sounds like heal. When you climb that, you climb up to this pinnacle, which looks like a peak. And you peak. You peak. P-E-A-K. But no, P-E-E-K. You get a chance to see from a higher plane, from a higher perspective. And when you can see more, you don't feel fear. You're able to stand at the top of the mountain, like Mufasa talk on the Simba and say, hey, this is the hyena territory. This is that. We don't go there for this reason. We don't go there for that reason. And you're able to see with your purpose. It's when you come down that you wander to these foreign lands that you shouldn't be. Because you can't see it. You just end up there. That's why I encourage all of you, be willing to sacrifice your old self and come on up here. Come on up to the place that's been prepared for you. You understand? And see people as God would see them. See them with love. This is when you truly rise into your higher self. The way you do that is stop looking at people. Look in the mirror and try to see you as God would see you. Forgive yourself, knowing that you're not God in your human form. You're not ahead of your mistakes. You're behind them. You can look back at them and see you because you're here reacting through energy. What you're trying to do is resurrect or rise to your God state so you are controlling your energy, not reacting to your energy. See, God is creative. Satan is reactive. Same word, but it's an anagram. Few letters switched up, right? Somebody type in creative, reactive. God is forever creating. God does not stop what it's creating because people have opinions. God creates from its own desire. God said, let there be light because God wanted to see light. He don't care what nobody else want to see. God wanted to see light. He didn't care if anybody else would be blinded by it. If everybody else liked darkness or not, he wanted to see light, and he created it. Do you understand? Don't be reactive. See, Satan, he reacted to God's glory by wanting to be like God. Anytime you want to be like something, you separate yourself from it, casting yourself away from it because you forgot you were a part of it to begin with. So when you see Satan convincing the angels, it's them convincing the angels to be like someone who they already were to begin with. They were God, as they are a creation of God. So looking at God saying, I want to be like him. I want to have what he has. Well, in order to have what God has, don't you have to be cast down and experience it all again? You cast yourself away the moment that you say, I'm not God. It's not God casting you away. It's you denying you. It's you who don't think you're good enough. You believing that God is supposed to be perfect. What is perfect, family? Why would a God be perfect? It's perfect because it is what it's supposed to be. I am that I am. I am everything I am supposed to be, making me perfect. I am supposed to make mistakes because I have to make mistakes in order to know what it feels like to make mistakes. In order to be God and know everything, I have to mess up to know what messing up feels like. Otherwise, I'm exempt from advising anyone who's ever messed up. So I'd have to mess up. I'd have to go off on a tangent and get mad sometimes. I'd have to do something that people would judge me for in order to understand what it feels like to do that. That way I could say, hey, you can rise from this because I already have. Do you understand? Perfectly imperfect, absolutely. I am supposed to make mistakes. I'm supposed to trip and fall. This is part of my experience. Pain is a part of life. I have to feel that, family. I have to feel discouraged. I have to feel let down. I have to feel like I let someone else down. This is a part of life. How are you going to learn in life if you're coming to experience here and it's free from discouragement? It's free from you never making a mistake. It's free from all of that. How would you ever learn? It's like playing a game with all the cheat codes. Why would it be even interesting? Why would you jump bullets? Why would you dodge if nothing hurt? Think about it, family. Jesus is not real, but to the person that believes in Jesus, to them, Jesus is real. I learned that too. Belief is powerful. In their mind, Jesus talks to them, man. They are creating Jesus. They are creating the sound of Jesus. And we as gods are so powerful, we can convince ourselves that it's real. Just like we do in our dreams. So this is why we literally say they have to wake up, because they are literally awake, living in a dream that they are creating and holding themselves to. When they finally get out of it, the kicker is to blame everyone that was holding them in. But they don't realize the world is constantly trying to show them reality, but they are not looking at it. They don't want to see it because they don't want to let go of what they believe in. And it's that belief that keeps them bound to it. Do you understand? But here's the kicker. It's okay. Because when they strongly believe in it and manifest through it, they're still able to manifest through their godlike power. Because using that symbol, they're still able to access their own energy. So we may want them to put that down because it makes us feel better. We know that it's not real. But in truth, if it gives them power to go out and create, let them keep that crutch for a time being until they don't need it anymore. A lot of times we want to take that from them, but if that cross makes you feel courage, if that cross helps you access the courage that is already inside of you, then carry that cross. That's okay that it's your crutch right now. As long as you feel courage from it, create. Do you understand? He says, brother, I hit a car and I saw Jesus. I wouldn't say he's not real. See, heaven and hell, Jesus, God, devil, they're all part of your mind. Whatever it is that you believe in, that is what you will see when you die. That is what you're going to create for yourself when you pass on. When you're in any situation that is dire, you're going to create in your mind the thing that you believe in. When Hindus die or have near-death experiences, who do you think they see? It's not Jesus. It's Krishna. It's Ganesha. It's Vishnu. And they would tell you, be careful to say they don't exist, because I've saw them. I've witnessed them. No Hindu dies and dreams of a biblical hell because it's not in their mind. They have never heard of it. So the hell that they fear is the Bhagavad Gita's version of hell. Do you understand? They've never heard of the Bible's hell. So they fear their version of hell just as much as Christians fear their version. Now ask a Christian to describe to you the Bhagavad Gita's version of hell. They will tell you, I don't know. They would not be in fear of the Bhagavad Gita's version of hell. In fact, they wouldn't be in fear of any other God's version of hell, as they've likely never heard it. So when they die, why would they access it? Don't you have to be taught about Candyman to dream about him? Don't you have to be taught about Freddy Krueger to dream about it? Yes, right? It's all in your minds. You are God creating the very world around you. The God you were taught to believe in is there because you accepted it. True. People in other places don't profess a need for God. They don't profess to hear from this God of your religion. Do you understand? It's okay. He says we were deceived. That comment could have stayed. It's okay. We understand that that is people's perspective of the chosen. Do you understand? Again, people who believe in a different way of life, in a different literature, they look at people like us and think we're deceived. But they're going off of what they have been taught. They're going off of their experience. To them, they are very right. Whoever you are right now, whatever you think of me right now, you are right because you're creating it. If you're creating me right now to be the Antichrist, you are right. If you are creating me to be some bad person who's trying to deceive people, you are right. And you're going to act like it. When you get off this live, you're going to keep convincing yourself I'm a bad person, and you're going to go to bed hating me. You're going to come to all of my channels and leave negative comments. That's what you're going to do. You're going to live your reality out based on your truth. And I accept that because that's who you are right now. And God gave you the right to be who you are. That's what living on earth is about. So you enjoy hating me. But I will have you know, when you lay that down, you will create from a more pure place. Because from a place of hate, you're not going to be able to create. If you can vibrate yourself to a place that even if you don't agree with me, you can learn to love me, only then do you get to stay in heaven. But if you hate me, it is you who's cast down. Family, when you try to pull someone down, it is you who is pulling yourself down because that's you. Do you understand? Quoting scriptures without belief in who Jesus is. Please understand that those scriptures did not first belong to that Bible that you read. Those scriptures are taken throughout time. I've been said this. I've been put these words in people's mouths long before the Bible. These words are on the walls of Egypt. These words are in the understanding of ancient minds all across the globe. They're said in every religious book, over and over. Many people across the planet tap into these words without ever reading a book. What you think is only exclusive to the Bible is literally everywhere and even predates the Bible. This is you and your ego embracing what you were taught, needing it to be the primary thing, but it isn't. See, when I was trying to find myself, God, early in life, I tried to find myself through the Bible. I did. And when I let that go, it was only then that I knew who I was. Do you understand? Any more questions? I'm gonna stay on for about 10 more minutes. Good, Donna. That's right, still will. If you can't question what you were taught, then why ponder it? Thought is God's invisible face. That is a beautiful perception. Is speaking in tongues real to the person who is speaking it and to the person who believes in it? Everything is real if you can grasp it, family. Words are nothing but spells. These words aren't real. The only thing that's real is the emotions that you feel. These words, though, because we're taught to navigate using them, they help us to better express the energy we feel and to better understand our own feelings. But please understand, even the description of yourself is data that you learn from the outside world. When you say things like, I'm sad or I'm scared, these are words that you were given in the physical realm. Do you understand? So the feeling of what you feel is something totally different. But your way of expressing that to other people outside of you is to say, I fear, right? It just makes sense. So yeah, speaking in tongues is very real. If you believe that tongues is power, if you're around it, you'll feel chills because you have made it your symbol. So therefore you turn it into energy yourself. People who don't believe in tongues feel nothing from it. But people who do, they do. Tongues exist not just in church, but in places, in tribes, where they say things they don't quite understand. But if you ask me, is tongues real by way of literature, I would tell you no. Because the Bible says that tongues are known languages. They're foreign languages. Tongues are not babbles of whatever you're saying. When people would speak in tongues, there would be people from other countries who could understand them. And they would say, wow, how do they know my language and they've never been there? This is what speaking in tongues mean. And this is why you will always have a translator, because that person can validate that you are speaking a real language. Tongues is not saying things out loud, just babbling, okay? So if you actually read the scripture, you'll know that tongues in that way is false. But here's the kicker. Even if you believe tongues is babbling, you still will feel power from it, because that power is yours. You're only giving it to what you believe is power. Now that you know that talking in tongues isn't babbling, when you go look it up, you're going to see I'm telling you the truth, and you're going to say, well, why did I feel power from it? Those weren't real other foreign languages. They were just shouting words that ever came to them. Why did I feel power from it? And you're going to know because you had succumbed to it. You had given into it. You allowed that spell. You allowed yourself to be under that spell. And gods, we always do this. When you go into a movie, you allow yourself to be there for the ride. You know it's fake. You know it's a bunch of actors. In fact, you've seen many of those people on the screen before. It's a different narrative. Yes, they have a different name, but you know they're actors deep down. But what happened is you suspend yourself from that, and you're able to receive a new storyline. And you're even able to believe that it's there. You understand? And so when you're in the movie, you become with it. You know it's not real, but you suspend your logic so you can be there for the ride. Yes, I have a Cash App. It is Rise. It's $ Rise, all lowercase. Rise Inreach Center. $ Rise Inreach Center. Please, somebody type it in. If you feel a connection to what I am teaching, to what I am saying to you, do not deny your future self. If you feel the urge to give or donate like the other person is doing, you be willing to do that. Do not deny your future self. A lot of times it's like we know someone is bringing us power. We know someone is changing our life. And then our opportunity to really level up, we shoot away because we don't reward the person who actually was our level up. So think about how many times somebody literally changed your life. How much is that truly worth to you? But because it was done at no cost, you didn't feel a need to reward the person. But you'll pay for another game of Candy Crush while you're on the toilet. But the person who changes your life literally goes unpraised for it. No gratitude, no monetary exchange whatsoever to express your gratitude. You simply just say, they changed my life. I appreciate it. But this person that you are now, if they are truly responsible for it, then you missed the mark when you didn't give them something. Even if it was a compliment, a share, tell people about them. You must always reward who's helping you level up. Many of y'all in life, the reason why you always come back down from your place is because pride comes before a fall. Your pride to not tell anybody who your sensei is what spirals you right back down because you're lying to the universe. You are in denial of who helped you step up to the next level. And why would you spit on who fed you? Why would you bite the hand who fed you? If God helps you up, you would slap his hand out of your hand as soon as you get up. But isn't that what we do? We level up off people and then keep it to ourselves because we don't want anybody else to have that level up. And you don't realize that what happens is you only limit yourself by doing that. It's called a wishing well mentality. I coined that myself. We throw a quarter in a wishing well and we want back billions of dollars, millions of dollars, but you only sacrificed a quarter. That's not what life is about. Life is about giving equal sacrifice for whatever it is you want. What really is worth $1 million? It's not throwing a quarter in a wishing well. What if it's pursuing your dreams and goals? What if it's not a quarter at all? What if manifesting your reality was you every day grinding like a mug, putting in $1 million worth of work to get the $1 million? What if that's what it was? But because of this wishing well mentality, we became a people who just give somebody a little something and walk away with gold and riches forever for a lifetime. And what happens is we cheat ourselves. Don't do that. The person who said that, they're in the place for a blessing. The person who says, what's your Cash App? The people already who gave something. Those people who doing that, they manifest good things in their life because they don't mind doing that. They know that coming out of themselves with a little something for somebody who poured into them is really nothing. It's focusing on you. You receive something powerful, so you give something back. Everyone has to play their part. See, we consume, and when we die, we get consumed. So if you're not playing your part in life, and that's why you're lying to the universe when you do that. Think about this. We live our lives only to, when we die, be buried separate from the universe, separate from nature. We get put into a wooden box, but this wood is not alive. It's dead. It's a wooden box. This box keeps you separate from the earth. But isn't the goal that you vibrate back into the earth like you are supposed to, as magic should? Aren't you supposed to do your part into giving back to the earth? You consumed of it. You spent your whole life eating from this planet, only to bury yourself separate from it so you don't have to give back. Should have became a tree so you could give life. so you can bear fruit and feed people. Don't be put in a box, family. Don't allow yourself to be separated from nature and put into a box on some group of land that people say is a graveyard. That place is not for you. You go be a tree. That's one of the things I'm going to do when I buy my first territory. I'm starting my own graveyard. People die, they can become a tree and come out and be placed on in my land. And when the trees bear fruit, we'll give the food away to the homeless. We'll sell some of the food so we can have resources to be able to do more things. But if you want to die the right way and go right back to nature where you belong and be one with God, don't be put in a box. Don't box yourself in. That box is dead and it separates you from God. Go back to the earth. We say we want to be one with God, but we forever running from it. Lesson number 1. After all I've said, take this with you from part 1. In your rise, okay? In your rise, you're vibrating to your higher self. Stay in fervent meditation, not prayer. Prayer is an outward thing. Meditation is an inward thing, to vibrate the highest version of yourself to you so you can magnetize things to you from outside of you. Prayer is requesting things from someone outside of you, asking them to send it to you. This means that the prayer was what you did to get it, not the work. Don't you want to really work to manifest what you want, and that way you can be valuable when you receive value? Or do you want someone to hand you money when you're not valuable enough to even keep it or know what to do with it? Wouldn't you rather be strong rather than someone just give you muscles that actually have no strength in them just because you want it to be big, so you just have muscles? Wouldn't you actually want to be strong? So don't forsake the journey. Constant, forever, fervent meditation. Vibing yourself into your God energy, keeping your God energy right there. When you wake up, if you feel like you're on the wrong side of the bed, remind yourself you have a creation. You are your creations. And get back to it. Don't wake up and remind yourself about yesterday that was so hard on you, that you suffered, that you didn't create. Don't remind yourself of the depression. The work that you must do to rise to your future self is to always keep your future self in mind. Become your future self. Don't chase it. Become it. You are your future self. In order to access it, stay in a high place. When you rise, meditate your goals and your dreams and the steps that you're going to do to reach your journey. Always remember your steps. Know that there's a journey, but then when you break it down into small increments, those are steps. Every day you wake up, you're going to lay a brick. You're going to take some steps. You don't have to get there today. Don't be discouraged. As long as you are laying your bricks and taking your steps, you are vibrating your dreams to you. The house is being made. You're closing ground. You're covering ground. Do you understand? So every rise, remind yourself of what it is that you want to do with your life and start working on it every single day. Don't let anybody take you off of it. I don't care who hates you. I don't care who hates on you. Don't worry about nobody else validating you. No one can tell you who you truly are. You got to reveal that to yourself by doing the work. Again, if your eyes could see inside of here, you would never be discouraged because you would know you have everything that you need. But because your eyes work this way, you see this right here. You think this is you and you get lost. Well, I want you to do this. Let it out so you can see you. But you have to let you out. This means get rid of fear and embrace love. If you love yourself and your creations, you will create. But if you are moving in fear, you will not create. Fear stops life. Okay? It doesn't protect it. It stops life. So you're always moving in one of two energies mainly, love or fear. If you are in fear of what people might say when they see your gift manifested, you probably won't do it. Or you probably won't do it with your best ability. But if you love your ability and you enjoy doing your ability, you won't care what anybody says. And you will do your thing. This is crazy, y'all. It's 375 people watching, 445, $99.99. All these are multiples of 9 that's on the screen right now. I was born at 603, August 26, 1982. My life path number is 9. My mother died when she was 33. I was 3. My life works in 3s. I had 100K, which was my goal. 100 is 1. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet, making it 12. And I did it on December the 15th, 12/15, which is 3 and 6. When was I born? 603. Ouroboros. 444. You're exactly right. It's crazy. Unbelievable. Somebody tell yourself, I am. And you be that, family. Don't let anybody talk you out of being God. Do you understand? I'll see y'all next time on part 2. Okay? This one was called Becoming God. What it would take to become God. It means to truly die. Give up what you think you know about God, because these humans did not know about God. God is who you feel on the inside of you. It's not these religions. Okay? So in order for you to truly see God, you have to be able to look inside of you. This is the journey to rising to your higher self. Do you understand? Of course you would happily debate me. Thank you so much, Intuitive. Yeah, thank you all for joining. Did you receive something? Did you receive something, family? Is your life changed? Did you receive anything, guys? Great live. Samantha says she missed it. Go back. Trust me, you won't regret it. Tell her, y'all. My soul is full, Tina says. You are totally aligned. Thank you. God is love. One love, yes. Kill, spit, and truth. Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Kill. I learned a lot. Thank y'all. To all of you ladies, I have been trying to logically explain to you guys that a lot of the things that y'all have been doing out here have been counterproductive, and a lot of women have been upset at my delivery, and so I want to let all of you guys know to be encouraged. I do love y'all. I don't have any problem with women at all. I get that in my messages a lot now, because a lot of the content that I cover, relationships, and often it ends up in me obviously encouraging a woman to rise to a higher place. But I want you guys to know something. I understand that you guys represent spirit realm. So emotions, y'all feel a lot stronger than us. So I am going to stop trying to use logic to speak to you guys. And instead, I'm going to try to speak to you in the language of the people that I'm trying to reach. So I know you understand energy because you feel it at a higher rate than us men do, generally speaking. So if us men can be so consumed with energy that we lash out and do things that we regret, those things that you're doing, when you are holding us from our kids, we have to consider that you're not trying to be evil. So if we talk to you like you're evil when you do it, it probably would be counterproductive. Instead, we must know that you're moving from a place of fear. You probably feel like you're going to lose that man. You probably feel insecure somewhere in life, or you probably feel rage. Nevertheless, it's an experience that you feel, and it's probably overwhelming. And this is why you are reacting out of it with the behavior that you see, that we call so bad. And instead of reacting to it, what we should say is, what are you feeling? This rage that you're feeling, because we know how we feel when we're enraged. That is a feeling and a half. Not that all of you are exempt, because some of you do things with intention. As men, many of us do things with intention. So there are low vibrational people out here who literally do go around seeking to destroy. But many of us are reacting to an experience, and we're not trying to be evil. We are only simply evil by perspective of the people around us, and that hurts our feelings, that people judge our actions are as evil, when that wasn't our intent. We were in such emotion that we reacted out of our emotion, and the thought wasn't about, was it right or wrong? I felt this way at this time, and I didn't know any other way to act, and that's what came out of me. And I had to learn that I had to learn that when I'm completely in stress, when I'm completely against the wall, I'll make threats. I'll say things I don't mean. All right, family. So just be encouraged, queens, that when I cover content speaking to you guys, I am going to really work on my delivery, as I want the message to be received. It'd be no point in saying it if it's going to fall on deaf ears. And if I'm not speaking the language, I have to say it is I who needs to make the adjustment. And I'm more than willing to do that because I want to see y'all rise. And that's worth it to me. All right? Until next time, be evolution. Be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it is in that chaos that you have found yourself. Peace.